Well, I know we have a doctor in the house, and I think I need a prescription because I have Olympic fever. Yes. So I don't know how many of you have Olympic fever out there. Anybody? Yes. Watching the Olympics, it's great. It's amazing how many hours can be spent watching people throw rocks on ice. I mean, it's just incredible. We all got the curling bug, I think. But it's amazing. It's amazing to watch these athletes speed around tracks of ice and throw themselves down hills pretty much. Just it's fun to watch, and that's good. And so anyway, but been watching the many hours that I've been watching, rooting on the United States and rooting on those good stories that we hear, and it's been fun. But there was one point, and I'm not sure when it was and all the time I was watching it, but at some point in the coverage, I remember the announcer saying, and I'm not sure what sport it was, I'm not sure what athlete it was, but I remember the announcer saying, this individual's purpose in life was to compete in these games. This individual's purpose in life was to compete in these Olympic Games. And I thought that was a bold statement to say, but I guess that's good. I mean, that have purpose. But I think as I heard that, I realized the value of purpose in our lives. That's something that we want. We want to have some kind of purpose. We know what it means to have that purpose, to have that feeling, to have that purpose. I don't know how many future Olympians that we have in our congregation this morning. Maybe their purpose is to compete in those. I don't think you'll probably have too much training with downhill skiing here in Monticello. But we have that purpose, and I think we know how it pans out by we've all had days where there's been no purpose, right? And it just goes on, and we feel like we get to the end of the day and well, that was sort of meaningless, right? We've had those kind of days. We've also had days where we've had intense purpose, where we've had the goals set out before us. We've had things that we need to accomplish. We know that we're going to be helping other people. We know that we're going to be doing something that's going to establish something for someone else. And we have those days and they feel great, right? They feel good. We get to the end and we say, we got the job done today. We finished up, whatever it may be, and it feels great. So we know that difference between that life, that day that had no purpose, and we know that those days that we do have purpose and how that feels. And there's that contrast there. Well, as we go towards Easter, this Lenten season, we're going to be talking about characters and stories in the Old Testament. And today we're going to be talking about Moses. We're talking about these characters because we're going towards the Seder meal, which is happening during Holy Week. And I hope all of you take part in it. But these stories, we hope, help you in embracing that experience of the Seder meal. And it's really cool. So I encourage you all to go there. But today we're talking about Moses. We're talking about his experience with the burning bush. With the burning bush. And Moses is a character in the Bible, is a man who walked on this earth, just like we walk on this earth, that I think everybody knows something about. I don't think too many people, when you say, well, Moses, they're not getting him confused with Moses Malone, the basketball player. I don't think many people are making that confusion. But they know that you're talking about this man that walked. I mean, if you talk in Christian circles, they know who Moses is. If you talk in Jewish circles, they know who Moses is. If you talk with Muslims, they know who Moses is. And even if you talk with people who have no religious background at all, in a sense, they know who Moses is. And so this is a man that his story has captured us. His story has brought us into understanding some more about the Bible. And it's just an interesting story. It's a story that really centers on this burning bush, and this burning bush giving Moses purpose. Great purpose. And so, if you know the story, we see at the end of Exodus, or at the end of Genesis, Joseph dies. And Joseph had the coats of many colors. He got in with the Pharaoh, and God's people were good. But then we see at the beginning of Exodus, the first chapter talks about how the Israelites, God's chosen people, the Israelites fell into oppression. Fell into great oppression by Egypt, by the Pharaoh. And so that was not good. And then we see the story of Moses happen. And we see that in chapter 2, and it carries us to chapter 3. Now I'm going to ask you as a congregation, as you dread this, because when the pastor makes things interactive, you get scared. But this is what we're going to do. All right, the story of Moses. Moses was born, and why was he hidden? Does anybody know why he was hidden? Speak up. What? They were killing the first. Yeah, they were killing the firstborn. There was a prophecy that there was this Israelite that was going to come up and free the slaves. And so the Pharaoh said, let's kill all these kids. Let's just kill them all. And so his mom, Moses' mom, was hiding this baby. All right. So she hid him for 3 months. And then what did Moses' mom do? How about from the balcony? Anybody from the balcony? Oh, you can't hide from me up there. You can't. What did Moses' mom put? What did she put him in? A basket, and she sent him down the river. I heard that, sent Moses down the Nile because she was in denial. Down the river. Anyway, and so Moses was going down the river, and then who found this baby Moses in a basket? Ooh, Cyrus. What? Yeah, Pharaoh's daughter. Yeah, awesome. We're all around. All right, good, great. So yes, Pharaoh's daughter found this baby. So all of a sudden, Moses was this kid who was supposed to be killed, right? Part of the slave family, was supposed to be killed. The Pharaoh said, hey, you're going to be killed. All of a sudden, Moses' mom protected him, hid him for 3 months, put him in a basket, floated him down a river, and then all of a sudden, Pharaoh's daughter finds him, and all of a sudden he becomes what? Prince of Egypt. Oh my gosh, because he's Pharaoh's daughter. He's Pharaoh's daughter, right? He's the Pharaoh's daughter. I mean, we've all seen the kids' movie, so he's the Prince of Egypt. And so we see, all of a sudden, Moses went from death, pretty much, being killed, to being drawn out of the water, hence his name, Moses, to now he's hanging out with kings. He's hanging out with the finest things. He has the best of anything that's around him. I mean, what an amazing story just that is, right there. And alone, that's a great story. Well, Moses, I think is interesting. It's interesting to see that Moses in this time, he's raised by the Pharaoh. He's raised by the Pharaoh's guards, or the Pharaoh court, and all this stuff. Pharaoh's daughter, and has everything. And but at some point, he does find out that he's an Israelite. He's Hebrew. He's one of God's chosen people. And I don't know what point in the journey that was where he found that out, but he found that out. And we see then the story picks up here, and we see that then Moses goes out of the temple power, the court palace, and the fine things of the Pharaoh, and he sees that these God's chosen people, the Israelites, being oppressed, being slaves, being treated horribly. And he sees one of his kinsmen, one of these people that same blood as him, get killed, get picked on, get beaten up. And he looks left and right, and he sees no one around, and what does he do? He goes and he kills. Moses kills this slave master, this guy in charge of this slave. He kills him. That makes a good story too. I mean, all of a sudden, whoa, we'd watch a movie with this. And he kills him, just like that. He sneaks back away, and then the next day he sees two Israelites arguing amongst each other, and he says, what are you guys doing? Come on, your blood. Why are you arguing? And then they respond, oh, what are you going to do, Moses? Kill us too? And at that, I feel like he just got struck with a fear, struck with this, oh my gosh, what have I done? And he flees, right? He hightails it out of there, and he gets out of there. And so no more is he the Prince of Egypt. No more is he in Egypt at all, but he's gotten out of there. Does anybody know where he fled to? First service got this one. No? He ended up in Midian.